Welcome to the Echo Driving School channel. Today I'm going to be talking about another recent new test which was conducted on the 4th of December. So one of the first tests that happened on the new driving test. So this is the one where my student did the forward parking. So it's a fairly interesting one to look at. So do watch the video right the way to the end where you'll see that she will be asked to go into a car park. Now, the car park that was used on this route was the Rowan Road car park, which is in Streatham Vale. So this route, I haven't actually done this route before as in terms of a video, but a lot of my students would have done this route. So this is the route where you come out the test centre and you turn left onto the 30-mile due carriageway and then at the traffic lights the examiner or the new sat-nav would tell you to turn right. Now, another thing to note, in her test, which was one of the new ones, the first one on the 4th of December, her sat-nav was not used. I think there was some teething problem, so the examiner decided to tell her to follow signs, and the sign here would be follow the signs for Pollard's Hill, which is traffic lights turn right. Now, many of you would have seen my previous videos on Pollard's Hill where I've spoken about, as you can see, the students stopping here. So you would stop until your lane becomes free and available for you to enter. Do not copy other road users, and by you moving over to the right and using that space, so you can only go, as you can see she is doing so. She's moving over to the right, she's given a right signal, and she's preparing to obviously come to a stop for the red light. So yeah, one to note, the traffic light that you're looking at is the one in front of you, which you can see is red. You would give a right signal here, and you can see she's obviously adhered to my advice in our lessons, and she's kept a tyres and tarmac from the car in front. I can happily say that she did pass with 3 minors first time round, so congratulations to her. She's getting her car ready. Check your right mirror, and remember, you make this turn in one go without stopping. The traffic you see in front is turning the opposite way, so you will try and get into second gear here before you turn. Now, this road is very narrow, so be careful and try and maintain a central position. So the way we would word this would be position yourself left of center of the white lines, and obviously you will adjust your position according to how big the vehicle on the right is. This is also the bus route. A lot of big lorries, skips and so forth do travel through this road. Ahead you will see a sharp bend, so it's a good idea to slow down before the bend, drop a gear if necessary, depending on whether you're driving a petrol or diesel. Now, at the end of the road you will see a sign. Now, you might not fully be able to see it, so do pause and look out for the sign, and it will say Mitcham Eastfield, it will say Pollard's Hill, Streatham Vale, I think it says, and Eastfield, so which is a left. So make sure you're checking on the right. So you've got a roundabout here, and remember, you are turning left towards Eastfield, so because it's a first exit, you need to give a left signal here. If there's nobody on the right hand side, and this is an open junction roundabout, so you would make progress. You just saw the 20-mile speed limit on the floor. Remember, this route down this road here, it's 20 miles an hour. Doesn't matter if the car has just overtaken you. Cars and drivers will be drivers, so obviously they will do wrong things. This car is parked now. Since I've driven since the test date, the car has obviously removed, I think it broke down there, so it's been removed from there, and so she went around it, not a problem. Her speed is nice. She's doing 19 to 18, which is right. You make progress here. For the hump, I would obviously ease off the gas, cover the brakes if necessary, and make progress. as you're going along here, remember it's a bus route, so there will be people at bus stops, maybe animals and so forth. So always acknowledge with your driving by easing off and making progress. This road leads up towards a traffic light where again you will see the signs saying Mitcham Eastfield, turn right. If you were using a sat nav, the sat nav will say in 200 yards turn right. Remember, sat navs don't really say at the traffic lights turn right, so make sure you are obviously practicing the sat nav driving. The only thing about I would comment on the sat nav is there's a lot of information overload. Instead of saying at the traffic lights turn right, it would say 200 yards turn right, and then it would, as you're getting about 100 yards, maybe 90 yards, it will say turn right. Obviously it's your responsibility to understand when to signal. Do not wait for the the sat nav to give you the last prompt. Before that you need to be signaling. Now here you would go to the middle, but not all the way far forward. You need to keep a gap for the oncoming cars who are perhaps turning turning right on their side, because if you go too far forward they won't really have any space to negotiate the maneuver. Again, waiting for a suitable time. Remember, if you can walk across, you can drive across. That's very important. You must not cause another car to slow down for you. If any reason you're in doubt, just hold back. There's a gap. She's going to take it at that time, and it's the right thing to do. Again, it's a 20 miles an hour road on the floor. Fairly simple. Make progress accordingly. At the end of this road there will be a roundabout, and at the roundabout Mitcham Eastfield is the first exit. So she's just making progress along. While she's making, let's talk about the new test as well. Remember, one of your show me questions will be done on the move, as you could be literally driving on this road and the examiner could say we're going to do a moving off on the move now. So what you need to, it will be a show me question. So as you're driving, they might say, can you open your window for me, please? And you would open your window and you would obviously then close it. So here the examiner says turn left. There's the Mitcham Eastfield sign. You just can see it in front of you. As you're going along here, it's still a 20. Fairly simple road. With 20 miles an hour, signage, so make progress. Another question for the show me question could be, can you please turn on your demisters? So do practice these questions. Another one could be, can you please show me how you would put your windscreen wipers on, or water on the windscreen? Another one could be, turn your headlights on. So all these questions, they're online, so do practice them for your benefit. Now here on the sign you will see it will say Streatham Vale, turn right. Now this is very important. You need to give a right signal, position yourself on the right hand side because there are two lanes. Give a right signal, watch the traffic on the right. If there is no cars coming, you do not need to wait. If you see a car coming, obviously by all means stop and wait for them. As you go past the second exit, check your left mirror, give a left signal, and then make your progress towards Streatham Vale. This part of the route is a 30 mile an hour route. This road is quite bendy, so as you're going around the bend, if you feel that you can't put it into third gear, it's not a problem, but do make progress. So constantly go up the speed, change to third gear on the straights, and then reduce your speed on the bends. Very important to sort of think that before you enter a bend, reduce your speed. As you are leaving the bend, increase your speed, so that way the flow of your driving will not really affect, and you won't affect cars behind you too much. You'll be making good progress. So traffic lights, obviously check your mirrors, slow down appropriately if there is any reason to do so. If not, make progress. She's doing decent progress. You'll see her speed isn't really going above 20 too much, 21, 22. Again, for a bendy road like this, that's appropriate. because you've got parked cars on the side, someone could be opening the door, and that could be dangerous. So if you refer back to your hazard perception videos, it is pretty much these kind of videos where you're clicking every time you think could be a hazard. So you're going around this bend, hardly visible what's around there. It is fairly narrow and quite blind as you approach this next bend. As you will see as we get there, the road is quite narrow, and you pretty much have to slow down. A lot of cars come through here at quite high speeds, so this bend here is quite dangerous. So make sure, if you're in third gear, I would definitely, as I approach this bit here, I would drop a gear to second gear. There's the skip I was talking about, the lorry, and obviously she gave way, which is the right thing to do, checking her right mirror, and then when it's safe, the actual examiner asked her to pull up here, so that's why she's actually stopped and gone here. So yeah, obviously they can make you pull up anywhere where it's safe to do so, and here it's fine. She kept the driveway clear, and that is the right thing to do. So before moving off, remember your POM routine. So prepare, observe and maneuver. Make sure you're looking over your right blind spot before you pull out, and then after you've pulled out, make sure you're checking your center mirror and making progress. As she's going along here, coming up to another bend, and you're coming up to a mini roundabout. Again, it's an open junction roundabout, so if there's no reason to stop, then obviously make progress. So the examiner here, I believe, has asked her to turn left, so she would have signaled, and as you can see, she didn't stop because there was no traffic to do so. So the examiner is going to make her go through Streatham Vale here. She's going up towards where the co-op is, making progress. Remember, this part of the route is a 20-mile-an-hour route as well, so she's just come from a 30 back into, this is Greyhound Lane, so it's back onto the 20-mile. So the 20-mile is actually from the roundabout all the way up to Greyhound Lane and where Streatham Common is. So make sure that your speed does not go above 20 and it's appropriate for this road. So again, practice with your instructors as you're going along this road. I believe she will be asked to take one of the next roads on the right. So again, the main thing to think about here, check your mirrors and then position yourself left of center of the lines in the middle, and so the hatch marking. You would give a signal and position yourself so that you don't block any traffic behind you. And if you're the first in traffic, make sure you're positioning nice, centering your road, looking into the road as you turn, because there could always be parked cars or meeting situation, or someone like here who decided that they want to park for the shops. So make sure you're checking your mirrors again before moving off. That car's decided to go, and she's checked her mirrors, and because there's a gap ahead, she's a little bit of hesitant here, but I think she's made the right call by holding back, because don't really know what that car's going to do. So that car's waited for her. So it's the right thing to do. Remember, if in doubt, make progress. That is the key thing here. If you're not sure what the traffic in front of you is going to do, then by all means hold back until you are 100% sure what they're going to ask you to do. So the examiner here, I believe, has asked her to turn right. So again, good positioning, coming to a stop so that she can negotiate. It's first gear turn in a diesel car, no doubt. Even in a petrol, if you're not sure, make sure that you are going forward. As you can see, these roads are very quiet. To be honest, it's a gift getting this route. So if you do get this route, definitely you've got it on your plate, and it will be a shame if you are not successful passing on this route. It is not difficult at all, in my opinion. This road will lead up towards the actual Lidl car park. One of the new elements of the test is forward parking in a bay in a given car park, or it could be anywhere where there are bays, and the examiner would ask you to forward park in there. Now this little section of the road is one way, it's just a small one way, it's just here, so obviously you can't turn right there, so you just position, and if there's no cars on the right coming, you can make the progress. There's the little car park. So the video jumped a little bit there, so I think there was a little glitch, but it's fine. Now as you progress here, the examiner would say, can you pull into the little car park? So obviously she is checking her mirrors, giving a signal and following the arrows, and here the examiner has guided her and said follow the road round to the left and then follow the road round to the right, and he's going to pause her a little bit once she gets her car straight, and then he's gonna give the option to her and say, okay, I would like you to do a forward parking in either the left or right bay, so you choose. Now in my opinion, right bay is always easier to do the actual turn in. From where you're sitting, right bay is definitely the one I recommend. Now it varies from cars to cars, but when I'm teaching my students, I always teach to pull up on the right, and for that you want to position your car as far left as possible without obviously getting close to parked cars. And so as I was saying, position yourself on the left and then pull into any of the bays that you feel is fit. Now you remember, if you don't have to get it in one go, once you turn in, once you see, you can open your door and check if you're in the two lines. If you're not, then reverse back until you go back and you see the two lines in front of you, and then you adjust your steering accordingly. So if you're too close on the right, then obviously you would steer left to get yourself on the other side. If you're too close on the right or over the line, you would steer left to get it there. So as you can see, she's reversing out, and she's going to go far enough so that she can see the line in front of her. So we can just see the line. Now she's going to point towards the right, and then she's steering towards the right. As she goes towards the right, she's aligning herself up with both of the lines, and then all she has to do is put it into first gear and then get her car inside the bay, and that is how simple it is. So as she's going in, she's obviously wary of the actual curb in front of the actual car, and she stopped, opened the door excuse me, opened the door, and then check that you are inside the two bays. Now recently one guy did this on Saturday, and he wasn't inside the bay, so he decided to go into the next bay in front and then go round and come back round and do it, and for that reason he failed. So make sure that if you're not in the bay, you don't go to the forward one, you go to reverse back and then straight your car in. So here she's just reversed her car back, and you're going to see a clip of the reverse camera that I had, which will show you what she's doing, or what she was doing. So as you can see here, she's going back, she's put it into reverse gear, so this is the reverse version. So she's getting her car in. As her car has gone in, she's going to decide to reverse the car back and then go forward again. So again, it just gives you an idea of the view behind you, just to see, you know, I've got the back camera as well attached to the car. So I decided here it's a good idea for you to see how to do it when you're reversing as well. So this is her reversing back. So as you can see, she's reversing back to, the examiner would have said, come out on the right, and then as you reverse out, you want to make sure that you're looking around you, so that, because it's a real life car park, there will be other road users, and this is what makes this new test element more challenging, that there are more places where you can fail because you are not looking in the right direction. So back to the point where we were, she's going to come out the test center, and again following the road signs. The examiner here is guiding, look out for the pedestrians. You can see there is a pedestrian path road marked on the floor, and now she is heading back towards the test center. So I think all in all, you would agree, once you watch the video, it was a nice route that she had. It wasn't too difficult. The time of the day she had it was 9:07, and she drove well. It's a very controlled drive she did. She only got 3 minors, passed first time, and with enough practice, there's no reason why everybody can't pass first time. Remember, and I'm sure you've heard this before, it is just a matter of controlling your nerves, keeping your focus on what you're doing, and then making progress and not affecting other road users, and following instructions. If you're not sure of an instruction, remember, ask your examiner and they will help you. She just stopped for a pedestrian. There's another one there, so she's obviously a little hesitant and going, which is correct because you need to be there. As you're going here, I'm just going to let this bit run until she gets to this new system on Rowan Road, what's been added here over the last sort of a month and a bit. So she's turning left here, and then the examiner is going to ask her to pull up again. So I'll let you guys enjoy the video. Again, feel free to leave any comments. Any feedback is welcomed, and obviously subscribe if you enjoy these videos. I keep saying in all of my videos, these videos are only done to help you guys out. So by all means, please look at them, rewind them and so forth, and obviously best of luck to everybody who is taking their test before the new year, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.